Hey folks, today is Tuesday, March 12th, 6:33 a.m. and let's take a look at these futures in the markets. Well, yesterday was pretty interesting where the Dow was gapped down so much. It was on Boeing, and then Boeing was just bought like crazy and the whole market rallied. That was pretty good because we were bouncing back up over the 200-day moving average and bouncing off the 50-day moving averages. So that's good to see that those averages are, pushing the market back up, and we're not just plowing back down through them. So that was good. The futures right now, the Dow is down again, not by much. Then the Nasdaq and S&P are up. So if you look at the S&P 500 chart here, though, now we have 2 points here to make a line. We've got an ascending bottom trend line here, which is really good. Higher lows means we're kind of building something higher. And then up here we got this upper resistance from back here, and that's going to be the current upper line. So basically we are starting to build something within that range, and it's trending up. And so if we break above here, what it basically means is we're going to have a pretty good chance to actually break above there, because we are starting to build something up towards that, which is good. I'm hoping that today's another day like yesterday, and we're going to see some real follow through up off that 50-day moving average. So that's the S&P, the Nasdaq. Basically looks the same. I drew the same line, and I drew that upper line there, which corresponds with some resistance back over here. So that looks pretty good. So in my list, I'm really watching Spotify. You can see this line. This line could have been drawn way down here for a breakout there, and it trended up. And then I've drawn this line just based on the existing highs. But there's that line, there's this upper trend line, and then there's also this little area right here. And that kind of corresponds with stuff back there. Not super great. There are just a couple points, like there's this little area here where it kind of struggled, kind of corresponds, and then there is a touch right here. But this area right in here really looks like a tiny ascending triangle to me, where it's touched, came close, and then yesterday came close, along with this rising lower line. So that area really looks like it's just sitting inside of a really small ascending triangle, just waiting to go. And yesterday's buying really bounced off that lower line. So Spotify has really good earnings and sales, has a really nice little ascending triangle. There's a couple of trend lines here that are kind of showing that area is kind of culminating on the resistance point. I think it's going to look really good. So I'm really watching Spotify as the one that I'm kind of looking to get into. I put ASML back on my list because it bounced the last couple days, and this lines right up with where it bounced off of, which means we're forming a nice big ascending triangle there. So ASML's upper area is at 187.05. For Spotify, 148. I put NVDA in here. Now NVDA doesn't even have the earnings and sales that I would like to see, because it's having a bit of a slowdown. You can see this huge dive. There was a bear flag there, very, very downward trend there, but it went into this big ascending triangle. And then with what it did yesterday, expanding its cloud database by buying ML and X, now we've got some buying, and it's coming up towards this upper line in the ascending triangle. So that would be 165.29, which is right around the break of this line. It looks like it's going to get there. Looks like there's more to be excited about with NVIDIA than crypto. That's what I saw somebody else say, which probably makes sense. They need something other than cryptocurrency to be their catalyst. COUP, they announced their earnings. The stock kind of went all over the place, and then rebounded, I think. Take a look. It's kind of all over the place in the after-hours pre-market. But again, if it suddenly gets bought and races up to that upper line, that would still be a buy, because there's still that range there on the daily. What would that be? It's 97.08, right around 97 area. Canopy is still within this little pennant again. Canopy looks like when it gets by and can really go. However, from what I've seen, all of a sudden you can get this aggressive selling, which I don't like. I still keep looking at it because the pattern's good. It has earnings and sales. You know, it's in the marijuana sector, which is kind of a hot topic right now. So there it is. Canopy growth be right now. It's around 48, 49. And then I've had this guy in here just because it already went through the line. The volume wasn't that great, but the price still moved out of the line. So there it is. XL. I thought I had a couple in here that I wanted to look at. Well, trade desk was the one from yesterday. I wanted this thing to go longer in this pattern. That's only like 2 weeks of time. I like to see 4 weeks or something. I might start looking at 3 weeks. I might have to start looking at 2 weeks, but at least 4 weeks is what I would really prefer. Volume wasn't that huge. Still went through the line. We'll have to see if that holds, but trade desk looked pretty good yesterday. That's about it. I'm watching Spotify. That's the one that I'm really keeping an eye on. But yeah, the next video should be tomorrow. I'll see you then.